What do they change? Their sex. Their sex.
No, they affirm. No. They affirm their gender.
Yeah, that's why it shouldn't be.
So their gender identity just develops incongruent from their sex. It's not a choice. It's just something that naturally happens. And it can happen to your children.
Yep.
Yeah, it won't, because they're not going to go to public school where they're being
that is not how it works.
Keep homeschooling them has nothing to do with them turning out gay or trans. I homeschooled my child and they are non-binary and trans.
Because you affirm confusion. I don't affirm confusion.
Wow. There it is. There's the transphobia.
It's not
don't tell me you're not transphobic.
It's the transphobia for me. It's the transphobia for me, girl.
How about that? You're
cis-phobic. I will admit to that for me, for sure. I don't know about anybody else, but I sure hell am.
Sure. Like the most.
Sure, but someone is not born, like they're not Christian. Like being Christian is not part of you. It's a choice.
It's part of me, and so is trans. I identify as Christian. That is part of me. How can you tell me it's not? You better affirm my beliefs, because I have to affirm yours. So you better.
You chose to be Christian, and that's fine.
Yeah,
that's great.
Let's let daughter have the floor. I want her to tell us what she wants to tell us. Go ahead. We're listening.
Me?
Yeah, go ahead. Muted. What do you want to tell us? You're not muted. Go ahead. Tell us what you'd like to tell us, please.
Oh no, I came on here to give my.
Oh,
okay. I don't want to hear your opinion. Mel, look at the request, or look at the request, yeah, or the. Is that the kind of day that we want to have?
Jeez.
I get the feeling that a lot of times these.
Is it? I mean, it's up to you. Okay.
What's up, Kelly?
Hi. I know, like, you guys want to dogpile on me for any conservative take I have, but I just want to say, I think it's really predatory that you guys are telling parents of 5-year-olds that they can't teach their kids about trans people, or unless they're transphobic, and that's coming from a trans person. Like, this is why people hate us. You know, you guys are the extremists that make it so the right never wants to compromise.
That we're trying to educate. That we're trying to educate children, Kelly.
No.
That we're trying to educate people.
Explain to me why you can't teach a kid about trans people when they're like 10 or 12. Why do you have to go for the 5-year-olds? No. Explain it to me with that little smirk smile.
Because
why don't you be honest about what you want?
Kelly, it's not a going for anything.
You're a predator.
We're not going.
Oh, you are a predator. You want to talk to little 5-year-olds and teach them about.
Dude, so right now, Kelly Cardigan, who's a trans woman, is trying to talk to these people about, chill the fuck out. You're giving trans people a bad name because, like, they want to just teach them themselves at their home. So really, really awesome. Based.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, Kelly.
Yeah. Nope. You're a disgusting human being. Predator.
I think that's projecting. I think we're projecting.
Because when you
projecting,
projecting. Yeah, I get mad. That's what sane adults do.
Abusing 5-year-olds for teaching that trans
people because
Kelly, that's a wild
further. You didn't say, let's just teach kids that trans people exist. You just said to this woman, let's teach 5-year-olds that you can switch genders. That is fucking
No, we did not say that.
We never said.
Yeah, and here's the thing. These people will fight so hard to have access to your children. That is the issue that I take with it. You shouldn't need access to children because people are capable of teaching their children about these things. They might not always be right, and that's the point. It's kind of the point.
I thought she was able to have a better conversation than that.
Or at least a conversation.
Andromeda's going to be sad now.
She's not in the request.
Well, she said she was having a blast, and now she said, dang.
Oh, sorry.
So when I was explaining that, that's a way to explain to a 5-year-old what being trans is. It is not saying that you can choose genders. That we never said that. Children cannot choose their gender. That's not how it works.
Right.
Kelly, as a trans person, knows this. She's aware.
Yeah.
Imagine cis-splaining to someone. That's essentially what this woman is doing. And this is their terms, right? I'm co-opting their terms. She is cis-splaining to a trans woman what she should be doing. Like, I don't think they see the irony in all of it. What's going on, everybody? We're starting off hot and heavy.
Hey, chat, that's a lot of L. Kelly.
Yeah, it is.
Hello, Roxy. How old are you?
Hi, I'm 34.
Hi, how old are you?
34 years old.
Awesome. What's up? What's your take?
34. So I don't agree, and I don't want to be called transphobic, okay? Because I really don't believe I am. But I
Well, let me address that meta step. Is cis a slur? I don't think so. Because I don't know. I mean, I guess if you want to break it down in terms of how it's used, I guess you could say that. If someone called me cis, am I offended? Absolutely not. Not in the way that I would be if someone used that word. I think it holds much different weight. But I think that if if we use it in the way that it's defined, like how it's used from this opposition, then yeah. I'm at a gas station. I have y'all on the car radio. I'm getting getting hot looks. Oh, let's keep it going.
I can hear you.
Okay. I'm trying to see if there's a lag. It sounded like there was. Okay. So what do you think we mean by LGBTQ topics in K through 12? Like, what do you take from that?
See, and this is the other thing that these people do. And they're starting from not a false premise, but they're being disingenuous. They have a topic up here that says LGBTQ topics K through 12, and they're asking the guest what they think they mean. That's not how you start a debate. And what I plan on doing when I go in there is I'm going to say, when you say that you want LGBTQ plus topics K through 12, what are you specifically talking about? Because I can't respond to this necessarily. I have my own idea in my head of what that means, but that doesn't mean that's what they mean. So I want them to spell it out for me, so I am 100% aware. And that's what everyone should be doing, quite honestly. If you're entering in this debate, you need to ask them what the topic means. Just like when they do something like, oh, abortion all 9 months, define what abortion is to you. Extrapolate on this topic of abortion all 9 months. Do you mean that you can end the life of a child at any point up until it leaves the birth canal? Because more often than not, these people will say, no, I don't mean that. Abortion means ending a pregnancy, which means a successful birth. No, it's not what it means. So make them define their terms so they know, so you know where you're arguing from. Because they're doing this thing they're making people define it for them, and then they're attacking them based on that, which is a completely disingenuous place.
Into the same thing that I kind of compare it to like racism. We get taught not to be racist, right? But we still grow up with racist parents. That child has to go back home anyways.
Right.
I understand that maybe you guys are coming from a positive place to want to teach and be like, hey, this is okay. I
don't believe they're coming. They might be coming from a positive place, but they're coming from a disingenuous place. They want to indoctrinate people. They don't want to really teach people. That's the difference.
Life and home life.
What does that mean? LGBTQ members are also religious.
That, like, let's say for a Muslim family, do you think that a Muslim parent is going to be okay with their son or their daughter?
LGBTQ members exist in the Muslim community.
If the parents have a problem with it, then they can take their kid out of public school.
Right.
Correct.
Then we would be seeing a lot of that, wouldn't we? Because a lot of people don't agree with it.
Because
but children deserve to learn about themselves and about the people around them.
They do this naturally. They don't need anyone to teach them.
Have you ever thought about maybe?
Can we also acknowledge the fact that children they need assistance on surviving, on getting food. They don't know how to do that. It's our job to teach them that. Children don't need to be taught how to be independent. They do this completely on their own. They find out who they are completely on their own by running experiments throughout their lives. This is what they do. They experiment with everything. They're banging on pots and pans. They're experimenting. They're ripping something apart. They're experimenting. They're seeing, I have this thing. What is the cause and effect of tearing, ripping, whatever? It is what they do. So the fact that you have to teach kids to do this, no, it's wrong. They will figure it out. Whether or not the direction is right, it's completely up to how the environment that they're in.
It's not okay, and that's why I wouldn't have a problem with schools just teaching respect and the differences of, like you say, families, but not so openly, I guess, to, like you said, that boys can change to girls.
That's
Well,
not what being trans
let
is.
me word it. Then let me word it better because I know that you guys like to nitpick on certain.
No,
How
this
we
isn't nitpicking though, because this is implying that people can make choices and that we're giving children choices
That's
to
why I
change
said
genders.
let
And
me
people
word
find
it
that to
better.
be fucking weird.
The problem is you're not giving them choices. You're telling them things that are false. You're telling a child that they may have been born in the wrong body. They may have a gender schema that doesn't align with their sex. This is the problem. You're opening doors that they're not capable of flushing out themselves. And because they trust adults implicitly, they will search out those answers way before they're able to comprehend them. And that's when you have transitioners. That's when you have people making decisions with gender affirming care way before they're capable, and they have regret. I'm not saying it's the case all the time, but this stuff is brutal on your whole body. It's not something that is so easily reversible. They keep talking about, oh, it's reversible. Oh, you can do this. You can just pause this. We don't know that for sure, first of all. We have some data that's not even conclusive. We haven't been doing these tests long enough to confirm it. That is the biggest problem with this.
Friend. And they've been best friends for a while. And the other day I went and picked them up from school and they said, this person is no longer my best friend. And I said,
yeah, not openly in the Muslim faith. Right. They have to hide out, which isn't right either,
except my sister.
Period. You realize though that even
this
though
child does not
taught
understand what being trans is. What?
Even though it gets taught in school, some kids are going to have their own
doesn't get taught in school.
decision. No, even if it does get taught in school, is what I'm saying. It's their
we
choice.
Don't try to reduce the harm and educate people on what being trans is at a young age. So maybe people could understand.
Racism is always going to exist. So let's not teach about racism and how to fight against it. You see how silly that sounds? No.
Right.
I don't agree with it. Like I said, I agree with it, even if it's an elective in high school, so that they could understand it better.
Okay,
they will understand it better younger.
People's family dynamic are individual. They're individual families. They're different.
And you're advocating for bigots.
Not you. Shh, Roxy, be quiet. Be quiet. It's Mel's turn. Thank you.
Roxy, you're advocating for bigots to be bigots and to teach their children to be bigots.
What?
You're okay with that?
No.
I could teach my kids anything.
What did Roxanne? I don't agree with that. Yes, children have natural experiences, but they also need to be led on how to critically think effectively too. Yeah. Yes, that you're not wrong in that aspect. You're totally, yes, of course. And that's the difference. Like teaching a kid how to critically think about something. It's one of the hardest parts about parenting because you're trying to walk the line of question everything but follow my rules. It's a really hard thing to do because you want your kids to think independent of you. You don't want them to always come to you like, hey, what do I do here? What do I do here? What do I do here? And you want them to learn, like, if they hear something, they should question it. But it is okay to look up to authority at some point. So it's a really mixed bag. It's tough. That's why parenting is so hard, and it's not for everyone. It's what makes raising kids just so incredibly difficult. In the long run.
About it? I didn't know.
When should someone educate themselves, Roxy?
Child came out.
I'm educating myself. Can we agree that some kids might get confused?
When should someone educate themselves?
When they come across a situation like
Very
Mel
fine
did
line.
with her daughter.
So they should be unequipped is what you're saying. Because that if you wait until you encounter a trans person, then you are unequipped.
Luckily, these TikTok lives were already going on a little bit before my daughter came out, and I actually had some idea on what being trans is and how to support her. I
don't understand this idea of like, and maybe this is my cis privilege speaking, but if you need a TikTok live to help you through raising your kid, you probably shouldn't have had a kid. Like, it doesn't take it. Sure, it takes a village, but you need to teach kids how to be decent human beings and respectful, like, to each other. Like, it is, you don't need a bunch of strangers to tell you, like, just treat someone with mutual respect. My kids stare at retarded people all the time. They look at somebody who has been, disfigured through personal injury, birth defects all the time. They stare at them, and then I'll have, they'll say, what's wrong? And then I'll, like, you pull them aside and say, hey, this is what's going on. You got to be quiet. You don't say that out loud because you don't want to hurt anyone's feelings, blah, blah, blah. Like, you don't need thank God a TikTok live was going on. So you knew that you shouldn't have had a kid. Sorry.
Not have anyone transgender in their lives, do not know what being transgender is. Therefore, when they have a classmate who is transgender, or they have a classmate who is a sibling of someone who is transgender, or they have a classmate of a child who has a parent that is transgender, they don't know what being transgender is, so they bully those kids.
No, that's not that just because something is so doesn't mean it, like causation, or was it correlation does not equal causation. So just because you have a trans kid in class and the student's never seen one doesn't mean they're going to bully them. Like that's the binary that these people operate in, is they want everything to exist on a spectrum, but except for the things that they care about. If it has something to do with bullying the trans community, well, it's either everything's fine or everyone gets bullied to death. Like, wrong. Like most people are good people and they don't know. Like a child will say, like my kid has long blonde hair, gets mistaken for a girl all the time. And he just says, I'm not a girl, I'm a boy. Like people they look at, they see you and they, based on what they know of men and women, they say little boy, little girl. That's it. Like it's not offensive. And if, again, there's deeper rooted problems. If you're worried that your child is going to unalive themselves because of an interaction with a child, bullying is not right. No one's advocating for bullying. No one here advocates for bullying. Or at least I don't speak for you guys. But this is ridiculous to think that, because there's a trans student there, that they're just going to get bullied. Everybody gets bullied. I got bullied when I was a kid. My last name, everyone bullied me over my last name. People bullied me because I was chubby and awkward. It happens.
It's confusing.
No, it's not.
Sure.
They actually
Sure. I mean, it can be confusing at first. I agree, Roxy. That's why we teach them things that they don't understand and that are confusing to them, so that they understand it better by the time they're older.
That seems to be, Rock, that seems to be like the position they're arguing from. I'm not on with them right now. I am currently listening and hoping to get in. And that's where I think they're coming from. And don't get me wrong, kids they're very self-serving. I think by definition you could say they're sociopathic. Like they don't really care for for other people. It's rare to find them like they do, because again, we teach, compassion, we teach understanding. But they're very often very self-serving in the things that they do. They're only looking out for themselves. Even my kids, like together. Like they're brothers, they're like best friends. But my older boy and the younger boy, they almost always only think about what they want. They don't care about what the other wants. It's not because they are mean. It's just because they're trying to figure out and understand compassion. They're trying to understand what it means to work with the group. Again, environment is a big part of it.
Mel was giving an example of how you teach a younger child.
Right,
That was the point of that.
I never
story.
talked to them about the hypothalamus and all this stuff.
Yeah, I know,
Because
but
it
that's what
doesn't
a
need
lot
to
of
be
people
that
are saying.
complex.
I don't
But
even
you're
understand
asking
the
the
hypothalamus as a full-grown adult.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you reference it all the
asking
time,
reason
which is
as
so
to-
don't fucking speak on
Mel
it.
was making a point, because you were trying to say that it was confusing for younger children to understand, and Mel was making the point that it's not that confusing for children.
Right.
Is if you simply say that this person that we knew for a long time used to go by these pronouns, but that was wrong. So we're going to call them what they are comfortable.
Something I've noticed, so it is possible to make a little money off of these lives. I've actually gotten like I think I've gotten up to like $1 on my own, like through being on these lives. I think one of the reasons they also kick people from these lives is because their opposition starts making money more than they are, and they don't like that. Don't get me wrong, they have a lot of people who are gifting them money, but then the guests, I start seeing like they're getting gifts from people. And it's not much. It's usually like 10 cents, like a gift or something like that. But I've like raked in, I think you get like half. I think I got like 200, which is like $1 in TikTok, which goes onto my account. So like, I think that's one of the other reasons they want people to get kicked, or they will kick them, because they start realizing people are siding with them and actually paying them money. And they're like, no, not here, not here. That's my assumption. I can't confirm that, but it seems likely.
It's unfortunate.
We're talking about the rest of shush. We're talking about the rest of the country right now that is actively against trans people, actively against the LGBTQ. We are trying to do something to fight that bigotry that's going on in our country right now. There are people advocating for laws to be made against us, against the LGBTQ.
Us?
Mel had to move her family states because they were
Good.
trying to take away her daughter's health care.
Move
Because
them.
people don't
You should-
correctly understand.
You should absolutely move to a place with like-minded people. Don't live in a place that's opposite of your beliefs. That's based. But don't complain that you had to do that. Like, people all the time have to do it, or they should do it. I know it's not easy, but it's a solution to a problem.
them at risk for not understanding this stuff, then keep them away from people.
No,
The
because
reality
unfortunately
is-
they're going to
the
hit the
reality
real
is
world and
that-
they're going to see it.
The reality is that children live in society and that there are people within the LGBTQ community around them all the time.
Of course.
Yeah.
And they need to be educated
No one's
on
denying-
that.
no, you
And
don't need to be
Some parents
educated.
are not going to educate their children.
You know what people need to be educated on is how to be a decent human being to the other person. You don't need to delineate, Erin. The more you put people in boxes, the more you're going to actually segregate them. It's a form of neo-segregation that we're seeing a lot of times. And the more you do it, the more you divide up like graduation spaces, the more you divide up LGBTQ spaces. And I'm saying on a state level, if you want to have a party or whatever that's just for the gay community, fine. Pride parades, great. Who cares? It's when the state gets involved and starts making these required things, or state institutions that's taxpayer funded, like colleges. Once that starts happening, that's where we draw the line, because that's the state saying that this is a space for this person. It's segregation. However well-intentioned it might be, it's segregation, and it's not right.
And about differences in
So
people
you
and how they
just
choose their
contradicted
lives.
yourself.
My thing is, don't teach it in schools.
What
If
do you
there's a
think they're
child-
teaching?
If
What do you
there's a
think they're
child
teaching?
bullying your kid, Roxy, if there's a child bullying your kid and it's coming from the parent saying, I don't know what it is about race or height, or it has to do with like you being like less wealthy or whatever it is, are you going to stand up for your kid and be like, wow, those parents really should teach that kid some respect and teach kids what that is to be like, to not have as much money as other children, or that sometimes you can't help how tall you are, or whatever the fuck it is. You're
You
not going
said
to
it
stand up for
yourself.
your kid
The parent, right?
For
You
your
said it
kid
yourself, the
and
parent.
be like, wow, those
Or
parents.
not everybody has parents to support them, Roxy. Like, can you fucking take your head out of your ass?
That's
Roxy,
why
are
when
all
they get
parents
older,
good
they can
parents?
look
Sometimes
for
school,
people and
Roxy, shush. I'm not done
Oh,
talking.
shush.
Sometimes it's
Oh.
the school that,
Hey guys,
that
if you would do
kids
me
have. That's all.
if you would do me a favor while these guys are bickering, I've created a Shagsworth live channel, which once it gets verified to do lives, I'm going to start doing my lives on there and then pulling VODs onto this channel. But I do want a separate channel that's like strictly for lives. So if you guys would do me the biggest favor for the 7 who are here, one, hit the like button on this, but also but subscribe to this channel as well, because we're going to start, building up this one as well. It's another space for me to do lives in case something gets like demonetized here. It's a long road to monetization, but if we can do that and get it moving, I would be forever grateful for subbing over here. Links in the chat.
okay.
Sure.
So my next thing
And
is,
there's more,
so
but yeah.
you guys can be the safe place, but then where do those children go? They go back home to where they have bigot parents, transphobic parents.
But also,
So
Roxy, at the same time, children are individuals. Everybody on the planet is individual. No matter what they're taught at home, they're going to form their own opinions. And if they have-
Exactly. The same thing as whatever they
So,
get taught
okay,
in
so
school.
Roxy, wait, Roxy,
gonna
stop.
form their
So
opinion.
follow up. So yeah, they're gonna go back home to their bigoted parents and what? So we just don't teach them. We don't try to counteract the bigotry. We just let.
You know what you do to counteract bigotry? be like, this sounds so dumb. This is why these people don't like it. Be nice to them. If you know, like, first of all, you're not going to save everyone on this planet. You know, the unfortunate part about this world is that we've gotten technologically to a point where we can save almost everybody. And I think to some extent that's a bad thing. You know, take that how you will. Take that how you will. But I mean, you're not going to save everyone, and that sucks. But like Dempsey said, lead by example. Lead by example. If you want people to be better, then you be better. You, and especially children. Children rarely learn by sitting down in a seat and telling them things. What they are going to learn is what they're seeing in their day-to-day life. That is absolutely what's going to happen. There's no two ways about it. They are going to learn by observing how other people act around them. That's why environment is so important to children. You need to provide a good environment for kids. And school is a place that can be, it needs to be influenced to act a certain way or be a certain way. It sucks that people have bigoted parents. My dad was like brutal at times with how he talked about minorities. I knew that was wrong. Why? Because I had another good parent who helped me navigate these things. I also knew in my gut, I felt this isn't right. This isn't right. And I also had great examples at school that told me, you know, about racial injustices, and we talked about slavery, and we talked about all that stuff. I knew that stuff was wrong. My dad is a good person, though. He's had moments of bigotry, which is inexcusable, and I don't like it. And I would call him out on it now. But he's still a good man because he helped me become a better person. I can't stand this. This is like, ugh.
Right? But none of the other students have been taught about that or what that means.
Okay, so that's where I'm telling you that I don't agree, Mel. I don't agree with my child being told that it's okay to like girls. Because you're confusing my kids. You can confuse my child.
Your child likes girls. What if your girl likes girls?
Yeah.
Roxy?
Yeah.
She can talk to me about it when she's old enough to date. And if you want to date a woman, then she can go right ahead.
Old enough?
She won't come to you because you're not safe.
I had my boyfriend at 17. I don't know what you guys had boyfriends.
I was 14. I had a boyfriend from 14 to 19, a serious relationship.
Sounds
Roxy,
weird.
I was 7 when I realized that
So I dated someone for like 4 hours when I was 14. And it was the most awkward shit on the planet. We were like at some like overnight camp field trip. We held hands like right before bed. And the next morning we kissed on the slide. And by the time I got to school the next day, we weren't together anymore. Like anyone who says that they've been in a serious relationship from age 14, I just don't take them seriously. No way. No way. From 14 to 19, sus.
it's wrong, is what they told me.
That's what I got told
you
too.
grew up and you learned it yourself about yourself.
But don't forget, these people, their anecdotes, they mean everything. My experiences are like, that's what matters. Nobody else's experiences. Nope. No way.
What, Mama? You're a lesbian too?
Yes, and I thought I was a weirdo all my life because I liked girls, and nobody explained it to me that I wasn't a weirdo.
And you wanted somebody to explain it to you because you didn't have good parents at home to tell you that it was okay?
Oh
So
my
now
God.
you're forcing it onto children in elementary?
You're an idiot. You know what? I can't do this.
Yeah, fuck off, Roxy. This is ridiculous.
Yo,
Yeah.
look, she has
not getting
more
anywhere with
tips
you.
than the other
No,
panelists. I
they're
love
not
it.
going to.
She's just up here to hear herself talk.
Oh, so you're admitting that you're not trying to understand anybody else but yourself.
I
Is that what
understand you guys' stories,
No,
but
you don't
your
fucking
Mama's being
understand. You're just being
disrespectful. I'm understanding Mel. I'm
because
saying, you know what,
you
Mel?
deserve it, Roxy.
Great job that you're
Because
supporting your child as you should because you're the mother. But you guys are not
Yes, we really want to hear
understanding.
you, Roxy. We're so interested in hearing you. Please go
Yeah,
ahead.
and like I said, I don't want my children to be bullied by other children, like
by your
yours.
You know what,
children.
Mel? Unfortunately.
Yeah,
No,
you're
we
not
don't
gonna
fucking
tell me
care.
that.
no, we're
Like I'm
not gonna
fucking
just
aware.
accept that bullying happens. We're going to try to do something about it.
Reggie, I sent you a message. I don't know if you could see it.
Yeah, you can let that person up if you want
We'll
to,
see
if Hull's available.
if it works.
Like, imagine coming up here and being like, I'm gonna stay ignorant. You can't convince me of
They
nothing.
left. You can do whatever.
And even saying that, you're not going to change my mind. I don't care. Okay.
I don't know if that's bigotry, but whatever.
You don't get to know what Mel's short for. You have to just keep guessing.
I'll tell you. It's Melithy.
That's right. that's what it is. Oh, okay. Well, I guess I'm going to go.
Damn. Where did Mel go?
I don't know, but I got a violation warning, so I'm out. But
See.
yeah.
Wow.
See if
Of course.
Okay.
Bye.
Mel, did you catch beans? No!
Was he? For what?
No! Well, shit. All right.
They lost most
let's
of their panel.
see. Let's bring some friendlies up. Let's do that.
Oh, of course. We need to make you feel good, sweetheart. Right? Sure you want to join this? It's devolved into slander.
Hello, baby.
Yeah.
Oh, was that an accidental join?
I do want to join because I'm interested to hear what they're talking about regarding like LGBTQ topics. What up, Dermy?
You're good, Bailey.
What up? What up, ass taco? Now I gotta piss. Shit.
Think of the tiny Danny.
Thanks for the raid earlier, Adora. Hi, Becca. How old
Hi.
are you?
I'm 26.
Okay, awesome. What's up, Becca? What would you like to add to the conversation?
I
I'll be right
agree
back,
with
guys. I
what
gotta run to the
y'all are
bathroom.
saying, but I also agreed with the other lady too. I get what she's trying to say,
That's disturbing.
and I have to agree with the part that my kid doesn't need to know who you like or who you're dating. So I kind of see that part too.
Wait, what? Okay. So
When you were
you think
when you were
I
talking
thought
about
I thought Becca was a friendly. I did. Becca, you have trashed
Oh,
their
I
bit,
am.
but I
I'm
would like
not
to talk to
saying.
you.
I'm just saying. I saw where she was coming from about your kid. I 100% agree. My kid doesn't need to know who you are attracted to. My 8-year-old doesn't need to know that.
Okay, so how about your 8-year-old? If your 8-year-old knows that, is your 8-year-old a boy or girl? Can I ask?
She's a girl.
Okay, so if she comes up and tells you that she's attracted to other girls, that she has a crush on another little girl, what would you say to her?
That's fine, but we don't date. I mean, I can't control the way she feels. I'm not here to control the way she feels, but
You would tell her we don't date people? That's what you would say?
Yeah, we have a no dating rule in my house. We don't date that young. I don't agree with. I don't.
Okay, fine. So until when? What age? What age?
I
Can you tell
have
me?
not-
Hold on. Grand Prince Rising. Stop spamming. Like that's the for sure way to get you to get me to not let you join. Like I've seen it. I get it. I don't know who you are. Sorry. The next time you spam that shit, a mod is gonna block you. I promise. So Becca, so what age do you let them date? What age would you say that?
I have not figured that out yet.
Okay, well that's weird
right
to put
it's day by day with me. But at 8.
What?
That's weird to what?
Sorry. I got a phone call. That's weird that you set a rule like that and you don't really know like the end date. But okay, regardless. So when you set those rules, I just want to be very clear. Children are going to do it anyways. Like if they have crushes, like I remember like saying I had boyfriends and girlfriends in elementary school because that's what I thought we did.
Yeah,
So
and a lot of people
trying
do.
to put right, so trying to put restrictions on your children like that is more than likely going to force them into wanting to do that kind of stuff
And
more.
you're allowed to feel that way, but so far it's been, she's very open and honest with me, and she is not at all wanting to date at all. If anyone mentions a boy being cute, she says no.
So you understand that just because that you're saying that she can't date or you're saying that she's too young to have these feelings, it doesn't actually stop her from having these feelings if she is attracted to the same gender.
Teaching kids that they can't always act out on their feelings is not a bad thing. It's actually a good thing. Again, parenting is a very fine line, and sometimes you have to make hard decisions in the best interest of the child because the child isn't fully capable of understanding the consequences of their actions. It's weird to think that you have control otherwise. Now, again, I think fully restricting something long enough can have detrimental effects. Like if you are constantly pushing against, don't do drugs, don't drink alcohol, they will seek that out in their own way, and it can have the opposite effect. But walking through with a child and saying like, now's not the time. It's okay to like another boy, but there's things that you have to do. There was a time when you could allow that to happen. And I guess you still could if you wanted to, but it is likely not in the best interest of the child to just let them date and do everything that they want. They need to understand the consequences of letting themselves out into the world like that. I do believe they have to be let off the chain to some regard, but I don't know. I think people are just strange.
Your relationship, your heterosexual relationship.
Yeah, because that's mommy and daddy.
So
yeah.
how is that acceptable, and that is okay to be exposed to, but it's not okay for her to be exposed to a lesbian couple or a gay couple?
They're going to be exposed to these things, but
because that's just not something I feel is appropriate to expose an 8-year-old to. If she decides 10 or 11, sure, but 8, no, that's not appropriate for me.
What if two lesbians have a child? Is it appropriate for that child to see that their mothers love each other?
It's fine.
Yeah, that's
presenting a loving relationship to a child is the best thing you can do,
No,
regardless
that's not their
of
parenting.
sex.
That's not a relationship.
You don't even see the hypocrisy, Becca. Like, you don't even see how silly that sounds. Like, you're saying that it's perfectly acceptable to see a hetero, like, you'll let your daughter watch princess movies, maybe?
Depends if it's
like Tangled. My daughter loves Tangled. Do you let her watch Tangled? Or I can't think of any off the top of my head, of course. Beauty and the Beast, Cinderella. Do you let her watch those types of cartoons?
Yes.
So that's exposing her to heterosexual love interest.
I mean, they're not doing anything inappropriate. If they're kissing or stuff, yeah, I tell my kids to turn it.
I kind of agree with that.
Okay,
Kissing is too much. Do you not kiss in front of your child ever?
No.
Oh, you're consistent.
I do not kiss in front of my child.
Okay.
That's kind of weird. I mean, it's okay to show love and affection in an appropriate manner. Like, again, like you can show kids healthy relationships, and kissing is fine. It's a part of it. If you're like throwing your tongue down your spouse's throat in front of your kids, that is a completely different story, and you probably shouldn't do that. But I mean, none of these cartoons do that. It's all just about like, kiss on the cheek, kiss on the mouth, done, because it's done out of love.
But it let your child see that profile picture? Like, you don't?
I'm sure she has, but as far as going to make out with my husband,
so is that
no.
Okay, so is that wrong? Okay, but is that a child seeing your profile picture? Is that wrong for them to see your 8-year-old?
No.
Okay, so now apply that same logic to a lesbian couple that has also an 8-year-old. Do you think that it's wrong for them to see their daughter or their parents kissing
No,
in their
it's
profile
not.
picture?
I just said that is their own kid. No, that's
I think the like kissing in movies, like if it's gratuitous, I think that there's a lot of value in not showing a kid that. I think kids seeing a healthy, loving like kiss on the mouth, or on the cheek is totally fine, because it is okay to expose kids to adult themes, because they need to, oh, what does that mean? It means, oh, I love mommy, I love, so and so. So I'm going to, show them that with physical touch. I don't know, like but I don't necessarily, it's not bad that if you don't want to show your kid that. I think that's fine. A very young kid, that is.
I don't do that. That's not something done in my home. Did I say it was wrong?
right.
No. It's just not something I go do.
Yeah,
So
respectable
what
PDA.
I am
Yeah.
trying to get you to realize is that you are okay with exposing your daughter to heterosexual relationships, but you seem to have this hold up if it's anything other than. That's what I'm trying to address.
She is exposed to me and her dad.
I know. So is she also exposed to LGBTQ families?
If she has been, I haven't heard
It's
about
not
it. But as
required.
far as me sitting down, no.
Right. See, and that's the issue, is like, why are you okay with her being exposed to heterosexual relationships, but you're not bothering to teach her and educate her that other people exist besides heterosexual couples?
Oh, she knows
That's what
other-
I'm trying
she
to get
knows
you to
other
unpack.
people exist. I just don't sit down and have that conversation with her.
It's not necessary.
Okay, Becca. Great.
Oh.
I'm done. See you later.
It's like nobody wants to learn today. Like, how many more times, how many different ways can we have possibly said that?
I don't know if I'll get on. There's a lot of people in this
Yeah, I
live.
didn't even have the energy to like tell her to leave in a mean way. Hello, hungry guy. How old are you?
I'm 32.
Oh.
Okay, what's up? What's your take?
I just want to know, what is this sort of like want to educate children on like trans issues and like LGBT issues? Forget about LGBT, but mainly trans issues. As you can probably see in this day and age, we can't even get this topic right. So how can we teach kids about this topic if us in society can't get it right already? So how...
Why do you think that society can't get it right?
It's about LGBTQ in general. So the topics that she's trying to debate are LGBTQ plus topics for K through 12, and then stop forcing heterosexuality on our children. Those are her topics. I saw Static in here. What's up, Static? What is even the point of this conversation? The sexual content available in schools, or just exposure of different lifestyles? Yeah. No, it's
the trans movement.
Or any of the LGBTQ, yes. Why don't adults get it right?
Well, I do think they do understand about your like lesbians, gays, that sort of thing. I think it's mainly is like I'm sticking with the trans. That's a bit. I think it's sort of
okay. That's fine. Sure, we can talk about that. But why don't you think that adults get it right?
Guys, if you would be so kind, I'm throwing for those who haven't yet. This is my new channel. It's a YouTube live channel the TheShagsworth live channel that I'm going to be using for these, and then pulling my VODs over to this channel afterwards. I'm trying to make a separate spot so I don't mess too much with my algorithm. If you would be so kind as to subscribe over there too and get me rolling towards all that stuff, I should be able to start going live, in the next day or two. I just have to request the stuff. Good to see you, Brahma. Kenzo, good to see you, brother. Static, great to see you.
My live. I don't accept anybody.
I never misgendered. I just said that. I just asked a question.
She is a woman. She is a woman. Yes. Do it again and you're going to be kicked, because I don't.
I did. I literally just asked. I said, do you believe Tilla Mulvaney is trans? Now, why is it?
She is trans and she's a woman.
Okay, but why is it a lot of people within the trans community don't believe that?
Are you in the trans community?
Doesn't
I'm
matter.
not in the trans community, but I
Then
am.
don't speak for people in the trans community. Then don't speak for those people.
We're not a
Okay.
monolith.
I'll tell you what my experience
There are
with trans
there are
people
over 1
is.
million of us in the United States. We're not all going to agree.
Okay, the trans people that I interacted with and that I met are the.
I told you to stop speaking for trans people. There's no more, none of that.
Remember, their anecdotes are very important, but their guests' anecdotes, not important at all. Remember that.
I'm telling you, don't do that.
But why not? So are they like is their point
Because
not
you're
valid?
not trans. You're not speaking for trans people.
And just so you know, you can absolutely have an opinion on a topic without being a part of the community, because this is essentially we're one society. And it's okay to have an opinion on it. You might not always act out on that opinion, but it's okay to have a thought. That's why they're running these debates. They want people to come up and talk to them about these topics. Like, it's insanity that like people don't get it.
Okay, why is it so difficult for people to understand the trans community nowadays or to accept them? Is it bigotry?
I was trying to ask you that.
She's not
actually.
trans, by
Sorry?
the way.
Yeah.
I was trying to ask you that actually.
Brahma, she might be LGBTQ, but I think she's straight. I guess she's been given her N card, basically, is what it is.
Education.
Lack of education.
Correct, which is why I'm advocating for LGBTQ topics to be taught in K through 12 so that we get a jump start on teaching. Always with the bad audio. Always with the bad audio.
Literally.
Okay, so okay, if that's, but what is it that you're trying to teach? What is it that we're not understanding, or we're not? People like myself. What is it that we're not? Because I always thought trans is trans. Now there seems to be so many things added to it.
Sure, Hungry. So tell us what transgender means, please. Let's start there. We can do that.
Well, to me, someone who's transgendered.
Hey, Jack Tarlive with 2 months. Hail Shag, you're doing the Lord's work. Also, I'm so thankful for the generous gift donators. All hail the fellowship. Thanks, brother. Appreciate it. Don't forget, guys, too, with your channel membership now on Wednesday nights for the after party of the midweek hump, you got to keep an eye on the community tab, because I will put the StreamYard link in when we head over to the after party, and you guys can join the after party and hang out and talk with us about the topics we did on the main show or new stuff that you want to talk about. I want to get you guys involved in having you guys have a chance to step up and speak with us and me or whatever. But it was a lot of fun this week. I thought it was much more laid back. We had a good time. This coming week, who's our guest this coming week? I have it somewhere. I forget all of a sudden. Who is it? It was like right here. Anyways, let's keep listening.
Transition in order to be transgender. So long as you have an incongruence between your sex and your gender, then you are transgender.
See, that's the bit that I'm confused about. How can surely you would want to transition because you want to transition into a woman, or you want to transition into a man?
No, that's not how it works. Hungry, no.
No.
So, can you elaborate, please?
Adora,
No, look, don't sigh. I'm literally someone here. You want to educate people.
Well, because again, yes,
people, you want to
Hungry,
educate them.
Listen,
I'm literally someone who clearly doesn't know.
Shut up, please. Shut up, please. Yes. So I am sighing because my topic of the LGBTQ always gets turned into a debate about trans people, and I fucking hate it because that's not what we were talking about on this live. Like, Adora hosts these lives, yes. And Adora is more than welcome to talk about that. I'm giving her the floor because she is a part of that community that you are trying to debate, and that's her choice. But I'm a cisgender woman.
So she is a cisgender woman that is speaking on trans issues. Interesting.
LGBT matters rather than trans matters.
Yeah, like my lives always get turned into that. It's always somebody. It's the transphobia that always comes out when I'm talking about this topic. It literally always happens. So that's why
her audio is dog shit too. By the way, they kept talking about his audio. Her audio is dog shit.
Conversation with this, sure, but I'm not going to be that one. Hungry. Like, we're not going to be the one that's debating the validity of trans people.
They're not. In the funny thing is, so they're asking, no one wants to learn today? This guy steps up and says, tell me about this, explain it to me, and now they're explaining back to him why they shouldn't have to do it. What? Unreal.
I sent you an invite to unmute, Hungry. No, Annie, you're the queen.
That's what I'm saying, Rock. He wants to learn, and now they're giving him reasons why they don't want to explain.
As we talk here, and it's coming out really well.
Yay! What else are you doing?
More soundproofing.
Oh yeah. Okay, so you want to teach LGBTQ in like to children and stuff like that. What is it that you're trying to achieve, sort of thing? Like, let's say, for example, we live in a multicultural world, especially the Western world. What if there was a Muslim kid in that class that has no idea or anything like that? You want to teach them about that. What do you think that's going to do to that kid when he has so many questions? He's not going to get it answered at home. Yeah, it's going to.
So it gets answered at school.
Right. That's why because people of Muslim faith, LGBTQ people exist. There are also members of the LGBTQ that are also Muslim. So they deserve the education just as much as anybody else to understand about themselves.
I have a transgender friend who is Muslim. I'm totally tokenizing right now.
Wait. So this person can do it. Not the guest though. My Lord.
I'm just gonna drop that.
Hey, Jerry Crow, thanks so much for joining. Welcome. Got some nice stubble there, brother. Appreciate you.
There are absolutely transgender Muslim women. And there are absolutely Muslim people who accept transgender people.
My black friend, my trans Muslim friend. I got a black trans Muslim friend.
A trans Muslim woman definitely deserves to be recognized.
Nobody is deserving of anything. Earn your spot, earn your voice, argue in good faith, whatever it is. Jesus. Hey, the beast for 6 months, brother. Aloha and blessings, my brother. Glad to be here in the mix with you, Palala. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you.
Awesome. What's up, friend? What would you like to talk about?
Nothing. I just wanted to go like on what they were saying about like LGBT. They're so afraid.
Yeah, Dermy, spot on there. That is exactly what they want. They want you to sit down. They want you to shut up and listen to what they have to say. They're going to talk at you. They're not going to allow you to understand. And again, this guy wanted a little bit more information. He wanted to be educated. And they basically talked down at him and said, nope. Not good faith. Not how you sway people to your side.
Baldwin and Marsha P. Johnson and things like that, because our history is not being taught in schools. And I just don't understand why they think that what we've done and what our people before us have done isn't important to learn about too. You know, it's not about sex. It's about us as individuals.
Absolutely.
You know,
absolutely.
And they always want to make it into something about sex. You know, they always want to turn it into sex, and that's not what it's about. It's about our history matters too, and we should be, and our history should be showed too. Like we've done great things too. You know, like Harvey Milk, and like his story should be shared. You know.
Absolutely, I agree.
Out there.
I appreciate that very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Guy.
Good luck.
Yeah, people.
Hey, Dermy with the 3 months, with respectable gent. He said, I believe they force gay people to transition in the Middle East. Yeah. Well, like conversion therapy.
That's what they try to make. That's what they try to make it out to be. And that's what, it's not, LGBTQ is not inherently sexual.
I'm represented by multiple letters in the LGBT acronym, and I am not sexual.
Ugh, how awful.
Yeah.
So sad.
Did you see the Discord, Adora? Who the latest person is tweeting about me and Mel.
Someone was tweeting specifically about you and Mel?
I don't know if she named us, but the Twitter queen is talking about us on Twitter.
I did briefly look. I didn't look too close.
They're talking about Kelly Cardigan, who came in and was not.
Thanks for the exposure, though. Yeah, she didn't name drop us, I guess, but she's saying that 5-year-olds shouldn't be taught this.
Which is the topic that we talk about extensively.
Yeah. How old are you, Fred?
22.
Hey, JJ. Awesome. What's up, Estelle? What's your take?
Nothing much. Just saying hi. I was just letting you know that what you guys do is amazing, and that's about it. Bye bye.
Awesome. Thank you, Estelle. I appreciate you. Thank you, Candy, for the subscription, friend. I do not require you guys to subscribe and to gift and all that, but it is so appreciated. I've put up here my Cash App that is going to the Mel Meetup Fund. We are having a redo of the Mel Meetup.
Yeah,
we need a redo.
They want you to be at least 18 to join Rock. If you guys want to jump on, if you're on TikTok and you want to try and like join in the chat, the person's name is Reggie. You just probably search Reggie and it'll pop up. This woman is like has a pride flag behind her. Yeah, REGGIE.
But I appreciate that. I just want.
Oh, I'm on. Hello?
Shagsworth.
Hi.
You're not loading. Okay, maybe it'll work. Oh, there you are.
I'm
Okay,
here.
what's up? How old are you?
I'm 38. I'm old.
I appreciate you guys. Okay, what's up? What's your take?
Well, I was wondering, I'm wondering about could you be more specific about what you mean by LGBTQ plus topics K through 12? I just want to fully understand your position before I take it on.
Yeah, what I mean is incorporating LGBTQ topics into the curriculum that we already have. In kindergarten, when we talk about family structures, I think we should be able to include the children that have different structures other than the nuclear family, because there are some states that are trying to make laws against that and have made laws against that. I think that we should teach young children how to use pronouns correctly and how to fix that if they turn out to be different than we understand them or than we expect them to be. As they get a little older and we start teaching them about world history, we incorporate important LGBTQ topics, LGBTQ members in that as well. Why do we celebrate Pride?
Bless you.
Do you know why we celebrate Pride? Thank you. Do you know why we celebrate Pride?
No, I guess I don't know the specific origins of it, but I would say, just so people, if I were to guess, I would say because you want to let people know it's okay to be who they are, and it's safe to be, and there's a community behind you.
Right. That's what it's turned into be for sure, and that's what we lean on heavily these days. But Pride originally started as a protest. It started as a riot. It was a pivotal point in history for the LGBTQ that was demanding our rights.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. That's good to know. Right. And I obviously think like big historical moments like that should be taught, and I'm not saying it should be left out at all. I do think, and I don't think people are trying to, maybe you misspoke, but I don't think people are trying to destroy the nuclear family, because I still think you can have a nuclear family with same-sex parents. Really, I don't know if the same-sex couple falls under the nuclear family category, but I'm also not making the claim that people are trying to destroy that. Those families are probably going to exist for a while. I don't think that they're the best type of family structure, and I think that colonization had a huge role in implementing the nuclear family in the 20th century, and I think that for centuries before that, other structures than the nuclear family were much more successful in raising our children. Thank you, Andrea. Yeah, I guess I would say that I believe that the nuclear family more so speaks to like two parents in the home. I personally just believe there's just certain roles that I think people will take, and sometimes like gender roles can be swapped. So like maybe the mother is the one that's going out and working, and dad's staying at home. I think those two roles, the nurturer role and then the provider role, are very important. They can be swapped. You could have same-sex couples, as you know, and I just think that, I think the data
So
does.
your audio is cutting out a little bit.
Oh, sorry.
Your audio is cutting out. I think you have a bad connection and there might be like a delay.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I see the little bars.
But anyone can be the provider in the family.
Yeah, I didn't.
Right.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said. I do think that either parent can be the provider. I do think it's important.
What does gender roles? Why did you bring up I'm confused.
Oh, it was just to
there's a
to be
lag,
specific.
friend. I'm gonna drop you down.
Oh. Can you hear me again? That's annoying.
Yeah, there's a bad lag.
TikTok keeps saying that they're fixing things and improving performance, and it never happens.
Thanks for the warning, Hex. I think I've talked to that person before. Hello? Oh, that background noise. You were spamming my comments a lot.
That's unfortunate. It was showing like my connection was bad, I guess, but I don't know. That wasn't going to be good. I don't always speak to like the religious side of things when it comes to like the deadly sins and stuff like that. That I don't like. I mean, that's not really my area of expertise. I do know that pride is a sin for sure. Yeah, that's unfortunate. I'll request again and see if they bring me up. I would really like to talk to them and get to my point. They didn't kick me, that they dropped me down because my connection was bad. So.
All right, don't let me down. My rule has usually been 21 and up lately,
but
bad.
I had no idea. I thought it was 18 and up. I can leave.
It's okay. It's all right. Go ahead. Let's hear your take. Go ahead, Ellie.
I was just wondering what you meant by forcing heterosexuality on children.
Sure. The way that society habitual.
It's my connection on my phone. So I'm like, the TikTok live is on my phone. Where is it? That's the like. So it, like you jump in the box there, and it was showing like a rather shoddy connection. So I don't know. I'm gonna try and get back in. They might not, because someone said, "Oh, did you see his profile?" Which my profile, I don't even know what's all my videos. Recent videos on TikTok have been like meme videos. Like in one of my recent TikToks, like did pretty well, and it was about loving my kid and my kid saying "I love you" like unsolicited. Have I tried an emulator on your computer to run TikTok? Oh, I haven't. I have not. So my phone is connected through my soundboard, which is why I can talk through the microphone. Hold on one second, guys. I'm getting a work call.
Yeah, I'll let friendlies up right now. I'm going to end pretty soon. So I was just trying to get anybody else that is opposing Nick.
I walked away by accident. Let's see if this works one last time.
I think I hate admitting this, but I think my thumbs are getting like cramps from texting and being on my phone too much.
Hey guys, we have a sub wave going. 2 more subs in the next 5 minutes, and every sub that's watching gets a new emote.
I love Adora for advertising for my channel. I appreciate that so much,
No
Adora.
problem.
Help support the next metal meetup. Yeah.
I went to use the bathroom and take a phone call, and they let me in for a second try, and now it's fucking annoying.
To go into overtime. And as I went into overtime, I got a little anxious because I really wanted to help.
Yeah, it really was the worst timing ever.
Well,
what's your solution then, friend?
people have to evolve past the point of even needing to give a description of a sexual preference of a male or a female to a child who doesn't understand any of this stuff anyway. It's not about any of that stuff. Growing up to develop the child in a helpful way in my classrooms with my clients, when I work with child development, I make sure I let the parents know that the best way to develop your children is to not put any concrete variables around male and females together, none of this stuff, and to handle it as though the world
oh my God.
is an unwritten book. They as they experience things, they're going to have questions, they're going to come to you, and when they come to you with the questions.
So what is wrong with implementing the things that you've been here for a long time? So
yes.
I know you know what it is that we're suggesting to put into our school.
Yes.
So please enlighten me
on why it will never happen.
Harm you? No, because I don't even know what is the harm in advocating for that. How about that?
So the harm in advocating for that is people, until they rise above their own immature thought process on this stuff, they're never going to be able to accept it. They're always going to see it as that basis.
Thought process, so we don't educate them.
Yeah, like I said, I'm a teacher. In my classroom, I have had to literally fight this subject with my own administrators. I had a client that withdrew their student from my class and hired me personally.
So we stopped trying to educate. What is your
It's not going to happen in schools until we educate people on a whole. Parents have to.
He's not wrong, and that really there's nothing wrong with this take. It's not bigoted. It's nothing. You just need to understand that. Well, it's not the state's job to teach your kids things, and this is the issue. They think that schools are required to take the place of parents. And that's not what schools are designed to do. If anything, schools are designed to get you ready for the workforce, to get you ready for the 9 to 5, 7 to 3, whatever you want to call it, workforce and get your work until you're 68 years old and you can't work anymore. That is their job. Or you can't enjoy life anymore. That is the school's job. It is not the job of the state to teach your kids how to think about certain social issues. They're there to help you refine critical thinking skills, learn math, learn history, learn how to read. That's it.
I have been a teacher for more than 20 years. I've done preschool. I've done high school. I was a paraprofessional in a high school and enrichment program where I basically was a PE coach.
They're trying to debunk his experience as a teacher now.
Maybe 2 years.
What's your degree in? Can I ask
I have
you
a bachelor's in early childhood education. And with my experience, it equates to basically a master's because I've been teaching for so long.
Good.
I don't think that's how it works.
A degree in early childhood development.
With
seems
degrees,
like
because it seems like you were wondering about my credibility. So I'm just trying to let you know why my credibility is.
Well, I'm trying to understand where you're coming from because I don't understand like how you're what is it that you think that I'm doing wrong here? Like, what is it that you're trying
No.
Yeah, what is it that you're...
That wasn't my intention either. Just to let you know why, like, I understand your plight. I have been talking about this forever, but I have fought it inside of the system.
So you just wanted to come up here and say that it's never going to happen. That's what you wanted to say.
I mean, so I waited for a long time. Like I'm trying. I waited for a long time to try to help. I wanted to come up here to help clarify what I feel like is a necessary thing to bring to the table. So that way we can move past this argument that's just going back and forth on semantics that may not really help the issue, because whether or not we put it into the school right now is people on a whole.
I know. Can you please, like, okay.
You
wanted to come up and use the panel. Is that what you're saying?
What?
Like, you wanted to come up here and be on the panel. Is that what you were saying?
I waited to come up here because I heard the topic and I wanted to help. Because a lot of parents that were coming up here were saying things.
So you wanted to be up on the panel, right? Is that what you're saying? You wanted to be up on the panel?
Yeah, that's why he's here.
Conversation. Yes, I definitely wanted to be a part of this conversation.
Right. So I'm looking for opposition. Like, I don't know you. So, like, I don't welcome people that I don't personally know off this app or that I speak to on a regular basis. So that's what I'm saying. Like, if you were coming up here to help the panel, I appreciate you. I don't really know what all of this other stuff that you're saying is, honestly. Like, if you have...
Wow.
I don't like, I thought that the purpose of this conversation was to have a conversation about this topic, introducing this thing into education.
Right. I'm looking for people that oppose to me so that we can have a conversation about it. Not people that generally, I mean, I still don't know if you agree with me. You're just trying to say that it's never going to happen, which is, I don't think, helpful to this conversation at all. So I'm trying to get a progressive conversation going. And usually that starts with somebody that's in opposition.
Okay. I understand what you're saying. I will get off of here.
Like, if you want to have a talk, like, you can host your lives and have topics about this and have your own way of conversation. It's just a general way that we do things here. That's how we have conversation with opposition.
Dude, like, I can't believe that.
Okay. Well, thank you for having me up anyway.
This poor guy.
Sure. One more opportunity here.
Woo, will it work this time?
I don't know.
Okay, cool. Sorry. It's Friday. I'm just excited it's Friday, y'all. I mean, can we not agree Fridays are the best day of the week?
No, because I'm a mother, so I don't have any days off.
Well, I'm a father, but I still love the weekends because I don't have to wake up early. Anyways, I thought we could at least agree on one thing.
I do. I have a toddler, so I have to wake up. Yeah, no. Okay, so continue. Where were we?
Oh, I forget exactly what I was saying before. Really, I think it just came down to I was saying, like, I do think the nuclear family, I don't think it's something that's been trying to be dissolved in curriculum or schools. I think that's something that's, I mean, I think a lot of people are actively advocating for,
Right.
but I think it can be both. I think it can be both same-sex couples and it can be hetero couples as well. I don't think the nuclear family just means like mother, father figure, and that could be mother, but I just think that the roles that are within the family.
It is a single family home. I researched this recently. It is a. I don't think that it includes same-sex couples, but it's a single family home. It's the two parents and like usually more than one kid.
Yeah.
That's what a nuclear family is.
Yeah, two
Like
parents.
other types of families would two parents, but I don't necessarily think that it includes that. That is something that I have to. Elijah's saying that it doesn't, but I don't think that includes same-sex couples. No, because it's a premise off of colonization. It's a premise on white people, and that how
Huh?
a mother and a father and their kids.
Wait.
Yes.
It's on what?
On it's a colonization. It's rooted in colonization because before that, people long before that had especially in Africa, they had families that were multicultural, that they had their grandmothers and their grandfathers and all aunts, uncles, like everybody lived with each other, and it was like a communal type of structure.
Yeah.
Right. And then colonization hit, and then that's what got changed. It moved into this nuclear family structure.
Wait, you
What
think
did I say? Didn't I say multi-cultural?
do you think colonization happened like this has been happening? Colonization has happened since the beginning of time. This isn't like a recent phenomenon.
Okay.
Well, I'm just saying, like, I mean, you're misrepresenting history, and I don't think that. I mean,
I'm not misrepresenting history.
No.
Like the nuclear family became like I think it was introduced into North America in like the early 20th century.
I would love to see if you have anything. If you have any sources on that, I would love to see it because that's something that I don't think is true. I mean, I just that doesn't seem right at all. I mean, I know, but I don't have a problem with people having multiple generations under one roof. I lived in Hawaii for 10 years, and that was honestly the norm. You would see mom, dad, grandma, and sometimes aunts and uncles under the same roof. But it doesn't take away that the nuclear family is still there, which is mom, dad, or again, I think saying mom and dad is putting a spin on this. That's not.
I'm not making any of those claims though. Like I'm not. Like what? Okay. I wasn't making the claim. Like I don't. Okay. Go ahead. Just go on with what you're gonna say. I don't know. This feels really off topic.
Well, I was just responding to what you had said about like. Well, I don't think it's true.
I know.
Can I say something more important?
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
I'm back.
Yay!
Hey.
That was much more important.
No.
Much more important.
Thank you, Bambi. So what is this? What is the nuclear family? What does that have to do with this topic? Can we bring it back to that? Like, what? I don't get your point.
Well, I was just speaking to the fact because I think that a lot of this stuff already gets taught in schools. Like, I don't know if it necessarily needs to be specific to LGBTQ topics because you can teach kids how to be respectful of other people and without having to necessarily label it something. But I agreed with you that I believe that very big events like the very first Pride event or why Pride events started. That's a historical thing that should be talked about. Like history is important to teach kids, like 100%. We don't want to repeat the same mistakes that we've done, or at least we don't want to have it in the same vein. So we should talk about certain things, but I guess I don't know what you want specifically as curriculum, and that's how like what is a specific LGBTQ topic that you want a kindergartner to know?
Right. So family structure is one. Like we've said many times, when children are doing their family tree, a project of their family tree, they can do, we make sure to include the families that have two mommies,
Just
two
kindergarten,
daddies,
though.
and other variations.
We're just talking kindergarten.
I mean, that's where it starts. Sure, it's they're building blocks. Like, it's just the example that we lead with, because that's where family discussion comes up. Like, that's the age appropriate kind of activities that they're doing in kindergarten that we want to make sure to include LGBTQ families in as well. I think that pronouns, we learn pronouns already at that age. We start learning kindergarten, first grade. I think that it's important to teach children how to use pronouns correctly. And if there is somebody that goes by a different pronoun that we don't expect, then we should teach children how to talk to those people and how to address those people. It's important to build that in, because we talk to adults here on a daily basis that, first of all, don't know what pronouns are, and second of all, don't realize that we use they, them in the singular person constantly. So I think it's important to teach kids that. We should.
Yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily disagree. I mean, I think, again, I think we lose focus on like what's really important with children. And like in kindergarten, first grade, they're not doing family tree stuff. They're doing basic addition. They're learning how to write. They're learning how to read. I have a first grader and a kindergartner right now, so I do know what is being taught.
Okay, I have children as well, and yes, they do that. That is a part of their curriculum. That is
family tree.
I mean, my kids,
different states, different school districts do different things.
Yeah,
my kids both had to make a family tree. Like, they went to the same school in kindergarten. They both made a family tree where they had to put a picture of us, picture of their family member, their parents, and then whoever else they wanted to include that.
Right.
It was a whole art project. And there's some states that are trying to prevent the LGBTQ couples from being included in that type of thing.
Is there really? Is there something on that I can read? I would love to read that, because that doesn't sound right. I mean, so what you're saying is like school districts are preventing children of same-sex couples from being involved in like family activities, or
Hello.
I'm just trying to understand. That's all.
Yeah. Well, yep.
I would love to explain to you what we do in my classroom.
Well, I want to. No, I'm specifically. I want to. I'm responding to her claim, because I would like to know about that. I just want to understand that, if that's what she's saying.
In Florida, yes, the Don't Say Gay bill, yes.
It's not the Don't Say Gay bill, by the way.
People.
You know what it's actually called?
Holy shit.
Well, here we go.
I don't care.
Yeah.
It's the Don't Say Gay bill.
What?
Go ahead, Shag. Fill us in what you really wanted to tell us. Go ahead.
Yeah, this has been a really disingenuous conversation, hasn't it?
How has it been disingegenuous? Can I ask how it's been disingenuous?
What's happening? Where are they not allowed to talk about their families? What is going? Oh, the thing in Florida? Yeah, that's not called the Don't Say Gay bill. Like, you didn't know what the fuck it was? Come on.
Yeah, like you wanted us to tell you, like you were like, I'm really interested in hearing what places this is happening. When you knew that's exactly where we were going with it.
Well, no, I
You
don't.
You could have just went to that.
No,
that's why it's disingenuous, Shag. That's why it's disingenuous. We're gonna let Kelsey talk.
Okay.
Go ahead, Kelsey.
Okay, so the reason I came up here is because I'm an actual kindergarten teacher, and I was going to tell you about the assignment that we do. It's actually the first assignment we do when the children come into our classroom, and we actually send the entire curriculum for the entire school year to the parents before the children even come into our classroom. So that's a big thing that we do beforehand. So the parents know exactly what we're doing before we even meet the student. And what we call the assignment is all about me and the children. They draw their families. They say their favorite song. They draw their pets. It's just exactly what it's called, the all about me. And so when we do get a student who happens to have two moms, like my son does, they share their presentation, right? And they say, these are my two moms and this is my sister. And we keep going with the project. 90% of the time, the children don't ask questions. They don't, because they're kindergartners, right?
Yeah.
Uh,
So far, I don't
90%
disagree with anything you're
No,
saying, by the
I'm
way.
not done.
I know.
I'm not.
I'm
not
agreeing
done.
with you. Relax.
I don't care if you agree with me or not, but I'm not done talking. So if you could please not interrupt me, that would be fantastic. Thank you. That's what we do in kindergarten through third. It's just family structure. It's just introducing family structure into the curriculum. It has nothing to do with sex versus gender. None of that. And that's all I came up here to say. That's it.
Okay.
Have a good time at the dentist. I know it's not fun, but I'm sending love.
So I don't like, I think that's a fine project. And I don't think that, if that's what you're talking about having like letting kids draw pictures of their family and then talking about it, like I have no problem with that. That's totally fine.
What we're talking about.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, kids do that all the time.
Yeah, well, that's exactly what Reggie said to you, though, sir. Yeah, that's exactly what Reggie said to you.
Oh, okay.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I didn't really get a chance to.
Okay, so you agree then? We should be. That's the type of the project that.
Yeah, and I think as far as kindergarten goes. What's that? I think as far as the.
All right.
Dude.
Thanks, Jack. I appreciate that. There is a terrible lag. I appreciate that. But anyways,
these people are like, it's really hard. This might be like, I'm starting to run through a lot of these lives and essentially not be welcome anymore because they know who I am. But you're right. So the disingenuous part of this argument is calling the Florida bill the Don't Say Gay bill. If you want to talk about being disingenuous, that's not what it's called. It's called the Florida Parental Rights and Education Act. It also goes into, in this particular bill, also states that they shouldn't be talking about heterosexual activity in the classroom. Like that's what I was going to say. And I don't have an issue. I don't know if anyone would really have an issue if you had a same-sex couple who had a kid in kindergarten. They draw pictures on a wall or on a piece of paper, and they have two moms. Oh, these are my two moms. I don't think anybody like is going to argue that. Okay, that's your family. That's your family. Okay. And she's right. Kids in kindergarten probably aren't going to question that. But we got through one grade. Like these people are not being honest about what they're talking about. Yep. Thank you for showing me that is what you're going to, that's what you want to teach kids. Fine. Great. But like some of the other stuff, like there's no need to get into like, wow. Am I taking crazy pills? So don't say straight bill. They're pro gaslighters. They really are, man. They really are. It's wild. It's wild out here. Some kid asks why that kid has two moms. You say, that's a simple question. You have to ask your parents. Yeah. I mean, even if you just said some people have two moms, some people have two dads, you could leave it at that. And that's a totally acceptable answer. I'm not advocating for anything except for a small bit of common sense with people overall. Like you shouldn't need to have access to children in this way. They think that everybody can be saved, that if only we put a little bit more money into education, if we only put a little bit more knowledge into education, that we could change the world, that everyone will be accepting. It's just not possible. Not everyone is going to be accepting of you. You can either take that for what it is, or you can like just keep headbutting that wall. They are quite honestly some of the most disingenuous group of people out there. I am opposition in the way, like, I wanted to get to the forcing heterosexuality on children. Like, what? What do you even mean by that? What does that mean? This is a cis woman self-hating that we shouldn't be forcing heterosexuality on kids. For as long as the world has been moving forward, as humanity has been moving forward, that's just how it's done. Man, woman, kid. That's how you perpetuate it. Nothing inherently evil about it. And I would honestly argue that things have changed already. Things have changed, and we are introduced to many different things in life. And it's not forced, it's nature. It's nature taking its course. And the thing is these people, unfortunately, like I said, leave them to the streets, leave them for the streets. That's the thing, is that most people they get so consumed by these things that they forget about the real issues. The real issue is that we believe all of these things to be, we have to care about all of these things. It's certainly good to be informed, but I would say that we are over-informed on things, and we tend to lean into things that just don't affect us in the long run. It's okay to have an opinion on something. It's okay to want to talk to these people and try and be respectful. This group, like, they default to disrespect way too quickly. And again, their anecdotes, their personal anecdotes are very important to them, and they're very important to their cause. And that data is good enough for them. But if I bring up my black friend or my trans friend, not good. Not good. I can't do that because I don't speak for them, but they speak for their stories. That's how disingenuous this is. Since she sounds like she doesn't like being a mom, maybe she just wants to force her kid to be gay and make others do the same. Yeah, like what a weird thing to say. Like, hey, it's Friday. I'm so excited. Well, I'm a mom, so I always work. Yeah, I'm sure your kid would love to hear that. Like, trust me, I know my kids are hard work, but let me tell you something. The fact that I don't have to wake up tomorrow and field a bunch of calls and drive around everywhere is really awesome. It's really awesome. Like, I but yeah, imagine Bruce. Yeah, oh no, we couldn't possibly commiserate over the fact that tomorrow's Friday and or tomorrow's the weekend and today's the last day of the week. I mean, who cares? These people just sit on TikTok all day long, and that's their job. People call you Shagsy. They kicked you because you're laggy. She doesn't know because she doesn't work. Yeah. I gotta say, like, the hardest part about doing stuff online and making content is that, like, I don't like groveling for money, and I see it all the time with these content creators, like, oh, this is my full-time job, like, and I know I've done it in the past where I've, like, made it a regular thing. You know, this is a hobby of mine, and I would love to do it. I would love to do it full time, but the fact is like, I'm just trying to have fun with it and keep it regular and keep it going. Like listening to some of these people be like, oh man, like, I do this for full time, so if you don't support me, well, I'm not gonna be able to do this full time. It's like, hey, guess what? It's up to you to keep yourself relevant in this space. Sorry, like, no one else. It's nobody else's job. You, me, I have to keep it fresh. I gotta find a way to keep moving this channel forward in a way that's relevant to people overall. You know, if I can't do that, I'm not going to force people. I'm not going to say, hey, you got to give me your money every month because it's just, if you want me here. Well, what am I doing to keep you in the seat? I kid as work, but it's the best goddamn job I've ever had. Amen, brother. Amen. It is the hardest job you'll ever have. The hardest amount of work, But in the end, like at the end of the day, when they're laying there on your lap, sleeping, or you're watching them and they don't even know it, you just think, this child is at peace because I gave them peace. I've just become a professional viewer. I don't have the patience for these fools anymore. Yeah. Yeah. It's difficult, man. There's a lot that in the amount of power that these people hold over others is astounding. You know, people take what they say hook, line, and sinker, and they run with it. They don't ask them questions. They don't push back. Well, what about this? Like, you really challenge this person, they do what they do. Oh, you're starting to break up. Oh, bad connection. Yeah, okay, whatever. And like, two things can be true at once. They don't recognize that. Like, I can be against like LGBTQ in schools because I don't think it's necessary, but also like teach that history. Like, we shouldn't ignore them. I'm not saying that at all. My daughter will rarely snuggle with me anymore. She's 10. Yeah, dude, it's a very, very limited amount of time that you get with those kids before they're just like, no, daddy, I'm fine. Yeah, and you would make more headway in these debates if you debating an AI. Yeah, at least you get a chance to respond. Yeah. Yeah, it's just too bad. I wish these people were truly more open-minded, because they're not. They're not open-minded about this stuff. They want to, I've told you this before, they want to talk down to people, they want to talk at people, and that's it. That's it. They don't care. They accuse everyone else of not changing their mind. They're not changing their mind. There's nothing I could say to that person that would make them change. They yell at their opposition for saying that they're not in the trans community. They don't speak for trans people. And this woman is a cis woman speaking for trans people. You can't make this shit up. You could drizzle the irony over pancakes. Yummy. I call it the narcissist behavior all the time. They simply don't get it. Yeah. My baby 21. She still come running when that thunder hits. They think they have the moral high ground. Yeah. No, that's very obvious. You could tell that they think that they are morally superior than someone like myself. They don't understand the nuance of our thing, because they don't, like, they just think everything's rooted in bigotry. Like, they said the nuclear family is based in colonization. Like, can we try and look this up? Now I want to look this up, y'all. The nuclear family. Let's just start by looking that up. The nuclear family. So this is from Wikipedia. The nuclear family, also known as the elementary family, atomic family, serial packet family, or conjugal family, is a family group consisting of parents and their children, one or more, typically living in one home residence. It is in contrast to a single parent family, a larger extended family, or a family with more than two parents. Nuclear families typically enter on a married couple, which may have any number of children. There are differences in definitions among observers. Some definitions allow only biological children who are full-blood siblings and consider half or adopted or half step siblings as part of the immediate family. Some sociologists and anthropologists consider the extended family structure to be the most common family structure in most cultures, and at most times rather than the nuclear family. The term nuclear family was popularized in the 20th century. Since that time, the number of North American nuclear families is gradually decreasing, while the number of alternative family formations has increased. So maybe this is just a miss. So they're not necessarily wrong here. They're obviously getting their information from Wikipedia. They almost read this exact thing. So what I am referring to when I say the nuclear family is at least two parents in the home with a child or two at the very least. with one child at least. I would include families that have immediate family, like aunties, uncles, or a grandparent, like extended families in the under the same roof. But again, I think it's a gross misrepresentation of like how history has progressed. So they're using the Wikipedia definition of nuclear family, and that so the name was developed in the 20th century. So here, let's read the etymology of it. The term nuclear family first appeared in the 20th century. Merriam-Webster dates back to 1924, while the Oxford English Dictionary has a reference for the term from 1925. Thus, it is relatively new. Okay, that's fair. The phrase is taken from the general use of the noun nucleus in itself, originating in the Latin nux, meaning nut, i.e., the core of something. It is in the most common usage, the term nuclear family refers to the household consisting of a father, a mother, and their children, all in one household dwelling. The family is a social group characterized by common residence, economic cooperation, and reproduction. It contains adults of both sexes, at least two of them, who maintain a socially approved relationship, one or more children. So again, they're looking at Wikipedia for this definition because it says adults of both sexes. I don't believe that a nuclear family should be limited to have both sexes. It's a two-parent home. History. Look at the history. DNA extracted from bones and teeth discovered at a 4,600-year-old Stone Age burial site in Germany has provided the earliest evidence for the social recognition of a family consistent of two parents within multiple children. So this right here immediately debunks what they said. Yes, the term nuclear family is a 20th century like term. But right here, we could even look at let's look at this. Science Daily, the world's earliest nuclear family found. Date, and so this is from November 18th, 2008. Summary, the earliest evidence of a nuclear family dating back to Stone Age has been uncovered by an international team of researchers from Science Daily. The earliest evidence of a nuclear family dating back to the Stone Age has been uncovered by an international team. The researchers remains from 4 multiple burials discovered in Germany in 2005. The 46-year-old graves contained groups of adults and children buried facing each other, an unusual practice in Neolithic culture. One of the graves was found to contain a female, a male, and 2 children. Using DNA analysis, the researchers established that the group consisted of a mother, father, and their 2 sons aged 8 to 9 and 4 to 5 years old. The oldest molecular genetic evidence of a nuclear family in the world so far. And then I said, and I even say they really think that colonization is the start of the nuclear family. Like you're just applying the name. Right? You're just applying the name nuclear family to what I'm saying. Like families have existed as mom, dad, kids forever. Why do I need evidence of this? And this is one of the crazy parts, I think. Why do I need evidence of a nuclear family existing? The burials discovered, we'll go back to that's not what I wanted. I wanted to go to this one. The burials discovered and excavated at Ulau, Saxony, Anhalt were also unusual for the great care taken in the treatment of the dead. The remains of the 13 individuals were found in total, all of whom had been interned simultaneously. So it's essentially like a mass grave. Intriguingly, the arrangement of the dead seemed to mirror their relations in life. Several pairs of individuals were buried face to face, with arms and hands interlocked in many cases. I don't know why I'm getting kind of emotional set. All the burials contained children ranging from newborns up to 10 years of age and around 30 years or older. Interestingly, there were no adolescents or young adults. all the burials contained children ranging from newborns up to 10 years of age and adults 30 years or older. So there was no adults sharing adults. Many showed injuries that indicated they were victims of a violent raid. One female was found to have a stone projectile point embedded in her vertebrae, and another had skull fractures. Several bodies had defense injuries in the forearms and hands. Wow, that's insane. Yo, what up, Epic Mike? Good to see you, brother, man. Hey, the Beast, have a good night, man, or have a good afternoon. Appreciate you, brother. The researchers reconstruct the Stone Age tragedy using state-of-the-art genetics and isotope techniques, physical anthropology, and archaeology. Lead author Dr. Wolfgang Hock of the University of Adelaide said, by establishing the genetic links between the 2 adults and 2 children buried in the one grave, we have established the presence of a classic nuclear family in a prehistoric context in Central Europe. To our knowledge, the oldest authentic molecular genetic evidence so far. Their unity in death suggests a unity in life. However, this does not establish the elemental family to be a universal model for ancient institution of human communities. And that's fair. That's fair. But it's still evidence that it exists in that time. As well as establishing the biological relations with the people buried at Eulau, the researchers were also able to shed light on their social organization using strontium isotope analysis. I kind of want to, what does this mean? Let me see what. Strontium isotope analysis is a method used in archaeological studies to identify major events of population movement in prehistory, such as migration, conquest, and intermarriage. It can be expanded to identify more subtle shifts in prehistoric human mobility. Strontium-87 is the product of the radioactive decay of rubidium-87. So the SR isotope ratios may vary between different types of bedrock. Depending on the initial RB-SR ratio, the time since the deposition. The analysis of strontium isotopes can be carried out by 2 techniques, ICP-SFMS, so that's high resolution ICP-MS, and MC-ICP-SFMS, multi-collector ICP-SFMS. ALS Scandinavia offers lead isotope ratios. None of this is a little bit over my head, but I kind of understand what they're saying. So comparing the nuclear family to extended family, an extended group consists of non-nuclear or non-immediate family members considered together with nuclear or immediate family members. When extended family is involved, they also influence children's development just as much as parents would on their own. And an extended family resources are usually shared among those involved, adding more of a community aspect to the family unit. This is not limited to the sharing of object or money, but includes sharing time. So let me finish reading. For example, extended family members such as grandparents are able to watch over grandchildren, allowing parents to continue and pursue careers, and allows the parents to reduce stress levels. Yeah, so there is a difference. But I still believe that nuclear family, like mother, father, and children, is much more recent than colonization, or it's much older than colonization, whatever that even means. Yeah, it's essentially a different word for carbon dating. Yeah, it's essentially another word for carbon dating. All this stuff I think all this stuff is important, but I don't think anyone's trying to break down the nuclear family. No one's advocating against the nuclear family. And I think people, I don't know, I could be wrong, but I do believe that people are okay with same-sex couples. I know there's some that aren't, but it doesn't really matter to me, because I advocate for two parents. 2 parents means whatever roles they want to take on. But I think those roles need to be, I think you need to have both. I think you need to have nurturer. I think you need to have provider. as long as those two roles exist in a family and you have people who have shared values, I think you will raise a good human being. Not always, it's not foolproof, but I think it's a good place to start from. And I think trying to debunk that is kind of weird. From 1970 to 2000, family arrangements in the U.S. Became more diverse, with no particular household arrangement prevalent enough to be identified as the average. Yeah, so that's interesting. There were statistics saying that, like they tried blaming like white people for it. And they can't even come out and say it, right? Because TikTok rules. They can't say white person. They have to say YT person. Weird. Guys, I will, if you guys, I have, let me, I hope so. There are a few quirks with my son that concern me. Yeah, I think, I think it's totally normal. My son has a few quirks as well. We're working with him on a number of different things. And, behavioral things that I think can be worked out in the long run, but him being a young 6-year-old on top of being just a little crazy person, he has some struggles for sure. Did you see my comment earlier that kids turn out better from single father homes than? Yeah, I remember I saw there's a TED Talk where the woman was saying that. Hold on, copy link. I just want to put my link in here, guys, for my new live channel on YouTube. Please subscribe to that. I will be doing, once I get access to the lives, I'll be doing them over there, like strictly live streams. And then moving stuff over to this channel as a VOD later on. BLM has specifically called for the abolition of the nuclear family. It is a goal of the left to have society raise the kids rather than the parents. Many times Biden has said your kids belong to us. Yeah. No, I do know that. I do know that about BLM. It's not on their site anymore, I don't believe, but it was at one point on their site that the abolition of the nuclear family. If the government can raise your kids, they can indoctrinate them. I don't disagree with the sentiment at all. Let me see. Let me see if I can find the video. It was like a TED Talk that someone did. Let me see if it's here. Oh man, I should find it because the woman. Is this it?
Good evening, everyone. So, when you think of a typical American family, what comes to mind? A while ago, people would have thought
16-year-old who grew up raised in Chicago by a single mother and brother. She's an honor roll student. Stephanie will speak from the personal experience of growing up in a single parent home. And why? No, this isn't it. This isn't the one I'm thinking of. Dempsey, have a good one, man. Appreciate you hanging out. Yeah, this is not the one I was thinking of. Oh, where is it? They'll probably talk about it in this one.
Right.
It was a woman talking about it too, which made it all the better. I think it was a TED Talk. I'll have to find it. Single fathers raising kids, maybe? if I saw this woman, I would probably recognize who. I don't see it here, man. I'll have to find it. Because I remember watching the video and being like, oh my God, this is so good. And it comes down to like it's the majority of people who like when they look at percentages, they see that single father homes often have more success in raising kids than single mother homes. Doesn't mean that like they're better necessarily, but there's something about dads raising kids in a single parent home versus mom. Now my mom raised me in a single parent home for a long time. And she did great. This is not to discount what she did. She is awesome. My mom is such a wonderful person. Why didn't this work? The apple doesn't fall far from the tree, Shags. Yeah. Anyways, I do think I'm gonna be going over. I don't know how much more I'm gonna be doing the TikTok live stuff. I love the TikTok lives. I think there's a lot of value to be gained from them. But what I'm seeing from this group is I'm starting to be recognized as like legitimate opposition, and also they're not allowing me to be like really be a part of the conversation. They're letting me in for a little bit and then getting really angry, like really fast, talking over, kicking me for no reason other than, oh, you connection problem. So what I will say is thank you guys for watching today. I posted the link a few times for my new live channel. I appreciate everyone who has gone over there and subscribed so far. It's going to be really great once we get that channel up and going. Like I said, I will be live streaming from that channel for the most part now, even if it means taking a hit. Here the midweek hump will still be over here for a while. I'm planning on starting a channel for that as well, just as like archive, which you can follow or not, doesn't matter. But we'll always have clips like around the midweek hump channel will mainly be an archive or past episodes, so you can go and watch those. And if it does get monetized, I'll probably throw the after shows like VODs and stuff on there for members once we get to that point. So I do appreciate everyone watching today. It's been a lot of fun. I'm gonna head out and get some stuff happening. I'm gonna get some lunch. But yeah, thank you guys. It's always a pleasure to see you and do this stuff. Take care of yourselves this weekend. Get outside. Go to the gym. Be active. Do something creative. Next week we'll talk more about stuff that we're doing creatively. I want to start doing some maybe 3D modeling streams where I just kind of mess around in Blender and refine my skills a little bit. But thank you guys so much. You guys are awesome. Appreciate you. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video, and then become a member if you'd like to support and join the conversation on the after party every Wednesday at 9 p.m. right here on this channel for the midweek hump. Thank you so much, guys. We'll see you guys next time. Doodles.
I like to put stuff online.